from the Scotland headquarters.
As Craig Brown's home base Scots flew across the border, 9 Anglos led by Captain Gary McALLISTER joined their colleagues landside at Birmingham Airport. Together they're attempting to boldly go where no other Scottish squad has gone before in 8 major championships, and that's into the second round. First stop on the journey is Stratford upon Avon, the Scots tournament base. Shakespeare's birthplace is well used to receiving tourists, though few are afforded such a luxurious treatment as that on offer at the team hotel. Mind you, there are those who reckon they'll have a short stay at Euro 96. The bookmakers have priced Scotland as 80-1 outsiders.
It's not particularly nice being ranked as the outsiders of the championships, but looking at the standard of the teams, you know, I'm not saying we should be down in the pecking order, but there are some outstanding teams in this championship. I think it's probably one of the best European championships since it started.
One of the reasons for that lowly ranking has been Scotland's build-up, 3 straight defeats, the most recent by a spree is Colombia. A miserly Scottish defence, which conceded just 3 goals in qualifying, has been compromised by injuries to key players. Scotland's strikers carved out opportunities on their recent American tour, but 2 goals in 4 matches also points to deficiencies up front. Indeed, you can get good odds on the Scots not scoring at all at Euro 96, but no one has an inferiority complex about it.
It wouldn't be nice to score, but at the same time, it's far more important that we qualify as a team and play well as a team. Individual targets fall short, far short of the team target. I'm sure you've heard all that rubbish before.
It's no wonder McCOIST feels comfortable enough to crack jokes. Their training facility at the National Farmers Union is a real home from home. Its expatriate Scottish boss invited them.
On the phone on Wednesday before we left, and we're both looking forward to it. And he's a good lad, Gaza, and we're looking forward to seeing him a week on Saturday. I'll speak to him before then. I've no doubt he'll have 1 or 2 facts he's come on with, things like that, but I know what he's like. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
We see qualifying through this group as the incentive. You know, that's going to be a major achievement. But I'm looking forward to the England game as much as the fans, I can assure you. But before that, we've got a big game against the Dutch. You know, and if we start against the Dutch with a result, we're going to have a chance.
This week in the heart of England, they've been staging the Scottish play. But for Craig Brown's cast of 22, the real drama begins on Monday.
Craig Brown, good evening.
Good evening, Des.
Big outsiders, is that realistic or does that offend you?
Well, I think it is realistic, but we're slightly offended. We don't think that 80-1 is a fair price for us. We're optimistic that we can progress, as Gary McALLISTER has just said. So I would think that many Scots people will be putting a few pounds on us.
Goals have been the problem, haven't they?
Yes, I must admit that. We haven't scored freely in the qualifying games, except against the lesser nations. And we've got to admit that we haven't scored a lot of goals. We've been creating chances, I concede, and I think that maybe if we get a break in front of goal, we could surprise some people.
How will you face the game, do you think, against Holland? Because Holland, of course, are one of the favourites for the competition, but they've got 1 or 2 injuries.
Well, they have, yes, and of course they're not as powerful as they were when 4 years ago Ruud was playing against us, and he actually roasted us down the right side. Our left flank had a bother against Ruud, and of course they had Van Basten, Rijkaard, and the top stars then. Yeah. Now they've got lesser names, but an equally good team unit, I think. I saw them the other night against Ireland. They played very well. But I left with a cautious optimism, and I think that we can upset things on Monday night.
I've seen it written, I think it's nonsense myself, and you'll tell me what you think, but it seems to be nonsense that Scotland would rather beat England and not qualify.
Well,
I've heard it said and I've seen it written.
Well, I think we'd like to beat England, there's no question about that. Our fans are very loyal, they're hugely supportive, and of course a victory over England would make them very happy indeed. But we've impressed upon the players, and the players are good professionals. They know that the important thing is to qualify, and that would mean good performances against Holland and Switzerland. In fact, very impressive performances, I think, would be required to get us through.
Yeah. If you got a draw, it started off with a draw against Holland, that would be a pretty useful start, do you think?
Well, I think so, yes, and I don't think that's out with the bounds of possibility.
Yeah. Well, we wish you the very best of luck. It's only 225-1 against an England-Scotland final.
Oh, well, we'll look forward to that. Can you get me a ticket, please? We can't get tickets for a week on Saturday, never mind.
Is that right?
No.
Thanks for joining us, Craig,
Okay,
and the very best
welcome.
of luck to you.
Thank you.